Hi everyone, Emma Jane Powell here, and I'm going to show you today how to make these adorable little spool ornaments out of the really pretty thread wooden spools that used to be how they made spools. Today they're made out of plastic. How boring. So you see these a lot of times in antique stores. You see like jars of them or bags of them, and I just hate to see them go to waste. You really can't use the thread because it's too fragile at this point and it can break, so you wouldn't want that in your sewing project. But this is a cute little something that you can do with these ornaments using up old buttons and wooden beads, and I'm going to show you how to do them. You can sell them for a few bucks at a craft fair if you want to, you can sell them for a few bucks in a craft fair without putting a lot of time and expense into them. So let me show you how we make these really fun and simple. So here are the supplies that you need. Of course, you need your spools, and I'm using green for this project because it's Christmas time as I record this, so I'm going to be using some green and red things. Buttons, you might want to put some buttons on there. This is a really unique button that it's going to set right on top of it, so I'm excited about using this one. Scissors, of course, big or small scissors, it doesn't really matter. And then I like to use a bunch of wooden beads. So I have a large tray of wooden beads that I have collected from estate sales, yard sales, or whatever. So one thing I will say with some of these wooden beads is that they have kind of a surface in the inside that maybe is not smooth, and which makes it hard for the twine to go in. So you can just take like a pin or something and just kind of swirl it around in there, and that'll kind of smooth out your hole if you need for that to happen with some of your wooden beads. And then this is some sort of a twine that I got on Amazon. I'll try to find the link and put it in the notes for you. But it came in a package of a whole bunch of different colors, and it's a nice lightweight twine type thing. And here we go, focus it in. And it's slightly waxy without being too waxy. I'm trying to find the start of it here. Where's the beginning? Oh, here's the end. Okay. And I like this end because it's going to be easy to fish it through the holes of the beads and buttons and that kind of thing. So this is a really fun, it came in, like I said, it came in a package of all these different colors, and these are just some of the colors. All right, so let's get started with our project. I'm gonna first show you a couple that I've already done so that you can get an idea of how to make these. You can see that I put kind of these flat beads here. You're gonna be fishing this twine in. You see some of the beads are really small, and one thing you'll notice is that I have used some super glue. I didn't mention that before. Some super glue can be good to hold these down so they don't wobble, and I'll show you, like this one, the glue came off, I need to re-glue it, but you can see how it will kind of wobble around if you don't do that, and I like to kind of hold it in place like that. And then you can see how I have tied some of them to finish them off. Okay, so there's just a single strand here with a knot on the end, and then I pull the double strand for the loop up here and tie it around right there under one of my beads. You can use different shaped beads if you want. I like these two colors for Christmas. I might put them on that little ornament stand that I have, or something else. So I've got this long thread here caught, and I'm probably going to trim that down just a little bit. Okay, so I've got this one little, that's a bright green color. I'm loving that. And then this one's kind of a darker forest green. So this one's fun too. We'll see what happens. Sometimes they don't stick in those wooden spools very well, do they? So I might have to take a little bit of glue and make sure it stays in there. Okay, I'm going to use the red twine with this green. I think that'll be fun. I mean, it's for Christmas, right? Okay, so I've got these beads and buttons and things like that, and this is such a unique little bead, and I've had it for a long time, this little bird, and it just would set straight on top of this, and I think that would be so cool. I've just waited a long time to use this little bead for something, so I thought this will be the way that I do it. Okay, so this button has that shank on it, which is going to be hidden up in the spool hole, all right? And then this is going to be fished up. Here we go. I'm going to fish it through that hole until both of my ends come up. There they are. Now, that makes for kind of a flush bottom. I like that. All right. Now, I'm going to use this fun button, this button right here, to kind of sit flush on top of this. That's why these old buttons are so fun when you find them in thrift stores, you know, the jars of buttons. So there we go. And I believe, I think I'm going to use a wood-colored button next, right here. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. It's going to all make sense. This is my artistic side coming through, which is funny. I don't consider myself artistic, just crafty. All right. The reason I did that is because I want it to seem like the bird is sitting on wood, which would be like a tree branch. Now, my challenge here is I'm not sure if that hole is big enough for both of these little strands, but we're going to try to make it work here. That's one thing you got to think about. This is starting to get a little bit frayed, so I'm going to trim it. Remember, I made these much longer than they need to be for that very reason, for things like that happening. Am I going to be able to get both of them in there? I'm going to try both at once. Both of these are not going to go through. That is a really small hole there. So you see, all right, but it's going to be okay. All right, I'm going to make sure, you see the bird is facing one way. So I'm going to make sure the twine that didn't go through will be on the back of the bird. And it's not, you're not even really going to notice it because you're going to want this to hang this way. And the other, I'm going to put the green on top. Yay, this is so cute. Look at that. I think that's really cute. Let me zoom in. Okay, and I've got the bottom just like that. And am I going to be done, or should I add something else? I don't know. I think maybe this would hang just nicely, just as long as it is. So you see how long that is right there? That's about the same length, and I like that. I like that length. So I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it that length. So to knot this one off at the top, I'm going to do something a little different than what I've done in the past. So that's fun. You just kind of make these up as you go along, right? It's a little rough on the inside of this wooden bead. So I just blow it out a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to fish both of these through. That one side is coming untangled. We'll see if I can get it through. If not, I'll trim it and start over. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay, so I've got both of the ends through that, and what I'm going to do is just see how big I want the hole. I want to make sure it's big enough to hang on a doorknob or a tree or some little type of display stand. So get the hole right here as big as you want it to be. That's going to be big enough for where I want to hang it. Pull both of these strands down underneath that bead, and I'm going to tie it right here. Kind of straighten up that bead so it will be straight. All right, as good as it can be. And I'm probably going to have to knot this again, so I'm going to separate these two actually and knot them. See if that helps to keep it knotted as well. Yeah. Now, what I will likely do, let's see. Okay, so what I'll do next is I'll trim this a little shorter, and then do you see how I frayed this at the bottom? I really like that look. So the way I did it was I just kind of untangled it, right? Untwisted it, pulled the strands out, and that's how I get that frayed look. So isn't that cute? I love the Christmassy colors. If I wanted to, I might glue right here, but I don't think it's gonna be necessary with this one. But we'll see. I might end up putting a little dab of super glue there. But how cute are these? It doesn't get much cuter than this. Let's see. And I can just make these go down. I would put a little dab of glue up here at the knot if I thought it needed it, but I think it's gonna be okay. So when it hangs on something, it'll hang like this, you know. All right, so I'll show you a display of that later. And then I have another one. So let's try something a little different just based on what I have. I want to use, I think this time I'm gonna use this green twine because, I don't know, I'll make the Christmassy colors with the red accessories that I have, like the beads and buttons and things. So I'm gonna fish this through. It's getting stuck right there, you see? So I'm just gonna use my pin, a straight pin, and pull it out. There we go, okay? So let me find a bead from my stash. I really like this bead hanging off the bottom. So let me make sure it's not too small for this. I don't want it to like fall into the hole of that, right? So maybe if I can find another green bead. Ooh, here's one. This is like a smaller green bead. So I'm gonna put that here first. And then I'll do this kind of textured oblong shaped bead. This one's got some junk in it. Some debris, I say. All right, let me push it on through. Uh-oh, not all the strands are coming through. I can see that. So let me trim it a little bit. Start over. This is why you want to give yourself a generous clipping. All right, there we go. Now I'm just gonna tie a knot here at the bottom. Right there. And to get that look that you see right there, I'm just gonna untwist it and pull the things apart. And that's how I'll get that look at the bottom, which I think is kind of fun. Okay, so there's the bottom of my ornament. Okay, and I've got these 3 red, green, red beads. And so I'm going to fish them through. Here we go. Red, green, red. Here we go. And I like that. That's going to be my ornament this time. All right, but I've got to tie it under here. So you want to get that loop as long as you can make it. And what I'm going to do here, let's see, let me look back at how I did this. You know, you forget how you do things. Oh, I see what I did. I tied a knot here, and then I came back down and tied another knot. That'll work. So you want to get your loop as big as you want it, okay? I'm going to go ahead and slip that through before I get my knot too close. I think that size loop is going to be big, maybe a little too big. All right, and I'm going to knot it really close to this. Okay, I finally managed to get that knot down. I don't know why it was being difficult. And I'm going to trim it off right here. So that is going to be hidden inside the bead. And now I can hold it just like that. And that's how it's going to look hanging up. How cute is that? I do need to go through and figure out how to keep this thread from continuing to come out. I'll dab a little glue on there. I might dab a little bit of glue here to keep that bead in place. But I love how that turned out. These are so cute. Here we go. 2 more to add to my collection. And like I said, I've sold these at craft fairs and things for just a few dollars, like $3 to $5. I'm actually going to trim that. For like $3 to $5, and they're a nice little bread and butter thing to have at a craft show. If you have like other expensive things and you just want a few little things to sell, these are really fun. And I've gotten all of my beads at, we have a local recycle reuse store that takes in craft supplies. And so it's a great place to go to get beads and buttons and things like this. So then I don't have to spend a lot of money on it. I would not buy these beads new and try to sell them. So aren't they fun? Okay, so now you've seen how I make these. They're simple, not much skill to it, right? So they're a lot of fun to sit down with children. This will be a fun craft to do with grandkids, nieces, nephews, that kind of thing, just in front of a TV watching a Christmas movie or something like that. And I'm going to add it, let's see, and keep these like color coded over here. You could also make these like in team colors if you, that's what I was thinking when I made these, like maybe that would be a fun team color. Here our team is red and black and white, and so that would be good for my team here locally where I live. But here are my Christmas ones. Look how darling that one is with the little bead on the top. I really like that. And the little bird, how cute. Okay, there they are. So that's my little display. These are really fun to make. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and share the video out via social media or some other means to your friends. You can text it out. And these would be fun for, I'm thinking like a holiday get together with your friends where you could have a little craft that's maybe not your typical sewing craft that doesn't require a lot of big bulky supplies that everybody could bring beads and buttons and old spools and kind of put them in the middle of the table and just have fun making a bunch of them just for fun, right? Or maybe for a fundraiser if you do like craft fairs for your quilt group or sewing group. If you have like a stand at a quilt show or at a craft fair once a year, these would be something fun to add to that. So enjoy making them, and please share with me what you make and how you make them. If it's with kids or in a group of friends, I would love to see that.